Thank you for joining us on the RP Experience. I'm your host, Andrew Regenhard, and today we have one of our preferred partners, Blake Becker with Becker Home Maintenance, and one of our top producing agents, Chad Phipps with John R. Wood. Welcome both. We're excited to have you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Our topic today is going to be why every realtor needs a good handyman. So on that note, Blake, can you let the listeners know a little bit about yourself and then why you invited Chad on here?
Yeah, no problem. Blake Becker from Becker Home Maintenance. I started our handyman company 6 years ago out of a need of wanting to get away from a career that I was in and wanting to do something that I actually was good at and that I was passionate about. And I was a chef before, Crave Culinaire and St. Matthew's House Catering, and I loved doing that. Loved working in people's homes, so I wanted to keep that going. But I also grew up in construction. My father taught me about construction and taught me how to fix things and kind of be the man of the house. And so I wanted to put that into practice and start a handyman company. And I wanted to use the customer service side of things that I was taught through catering and through hospitality and bring that into the industry of handyman, because I felt from the handyman experiences I had heard about that we could be different if we did if we went the extra mile and if we did a little bit more and if we communicated better. And so that was kind of like my drive to start Becker Home Maintenance, and it's been a dream ever since. And you know, we've been in business now for 6 full years, and I feel like we're pretty successful, and we're super grateful to have wonderful partners in real estate and then so many people from the community that have supported us since we started Becker Home Maintenance.
I love it. Now, you invited Chad on here. He's been a top agent. You guys obviously work together, so we'll get in that a little bit. Chad, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Sure. Chad Phipps. I'm with John R. Wood Properties here in Naples. I'm actually originally from Bowling Green, Ohio, which is in Northwest Ohio, and was Midwesterner most of my life. Was in Chicago after college, and then ended up moving down here about 20 years. Actually, in June, it'll be 20 years that I've been down here in Naples and selling real estate for 19 of those 20 years.
That's awesome. Yeah. We were joking before the podcast. We don't miss the snow, right?
No.
We do not want to go back. Oh, that's blistering cold stuff. No thanks. I'll stay down here. So, Blake, let's get up to speed on your business. Now, tell us the backstory. You know, you created this. You wanted to set yourself apart and be different. Why?
Well, I think in any business, you have to do something that's going to separate you from everybody else. In this community, especially, you know, we have Naples is full of homes, full of opportunity. There's a million handymen. There's a million contractors out there. So basically, what can I do to separate myself from everybody else that's going to make me attractive to our clientele? And you know, for us, it was customer service. It was bringing the hospitality mentality to the handyman world. And that's how I originally started as a handyman. We're doing many other things now. We consider ourselves a professional handyman company. We carry multiple licenses for all different trades. So basically, being able to offer things that maybe the guy that works out of the back of his truck with no license can offer. And nothing against that person that does that. There's phenomenal handyman out there, but I wanted to be like a step above, have a professional website, have call to actions on our mobile devices that made things easier for people to get in touch with us, or for our clientele to feel that they're getting more service, and for like a good price.
Awesome. Why does someone need a handyman?
Oh, because things break. Things are definitely.
I thought that's what duct tape's for.
It does. It works great. Actually, it's one of my favorite tools.
WD-40 and duct tape.
Duct tape, bubble gum, and rubber bands.
Oh,
those are good.
Great.
As well.
Zip ties. Can't forget those. Come on.
No, we live in a beautiful community. Naples has been thriving, since I've been here, since '97, and I there's been lots that was going on before that, but in this community of ever-changing communities, right, associations, new construction, old construction, there's things that happen after 30 years of a home being in Florida's weather, and it breaks down. So you need a maintenance plan. You need a service plan. You need someone to come out and make sure that everything's working right, and help tweak things that might need a little bit of love, and then also repair things that are broken or install new things.
Awesome. What all do you provide and what don't you? Where's the limitations?
Well, we are not a contractor, so we can't pull permits. We can't build additions on the side of your house. We can't do plumbing and electric, but we have a few more licenses than your standard handyman. So, I mean, my company has a painting license. We have a flooring license, a cabinetry license, a trim carpentry license. So we can do a bit more than your typical handyman, which I think sets us apart. But we can't, like I said, we can't remodel. We can't go into a home and tear out a kitchen and rebuild a kitchen, without partnering up with a contractor. I mean, as a cabinetry contractor, I can partner up with, another contractor and install cabinets as long as they have an active permit, et cetera.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, whatever the county allows us to do based upon our licenses is what we do.
Awesome. What, in regards to those jobs that you do, what's the smallest, the quickest job that you've ever been called out to?
Well, I mean, when I was doing the work myself, because there was a period of 3 or 4 years when I actually did, first 2 or 3 years, I did all the work myself. I believe one of the jobs was coming in to fix a light, that a light bulb that had been, supposedly broken, and it really wasn't. It was just a light switch, but it wasn't like a regular light switch. It was like a push button light switch, something odd like that.
So you literally turned the light on.
I came in, set up my ladder, checked the bulb, it didn't see anything wrong with it, and then went down and pressed a button, and so at that point, I felt bad and didn't want to charge the lady, so I was just like, let it go.
Call me for the next one when it's actually a problem.
But if you just press this button, the light will turn on. It's an amazing feat.
They added this feature now in these homes.
It's phenomenal. You don't need a candle.
Wow. Interesting. You don't have to get up on the ladder just to turn on the light. No. It's down low. Cool. You kind of talked about it already about what sets you apart. So with that being said about what sets you apart, what's kind of the next step? Like, obviously you got a lot of license and different things. So what's on the next, what's on the docket in the sense for Becker Home Maintenance?
Oh man, we actually are just, we're kind of ramping up right now to get, we started doing a lot of work in the subcontractor field, the flooring, the painting, the cabinetry sales and installation. And we still keep active handyman out doing the odds and ends jobs, which are super important. We do inspection reports for realtors. Chad sends us lots of them actually, and we love to knock them out for them. But we're ramping up this year, 2022, for we're going to increase our pressure washing services, our window washing services. We're going to be doing, we're working on a maintenance plan that will tie into home watch companies. So basically helping do the maintenance of things, or a service contract, so that basically we're at the beck and call of our clients if something were to happen on a weekend or at night, so they have access to a handyman instantaneously. Instead of having to wait 2 or 3 days, which is kind of the common thing now.
Beck and call. Did you try to do that on purpose? You got a punny guy over here right now. Chad, let's talk about your business. You came down here 20 years ago, and you've been doing real estate for 19. Get us up to speed. You were involved in the NFL before, right?
Yeah, I actually worked for an NFL agent in Chicago, and I think he currently represents about 50 or 60 guys. Thought I wanted to be Jerry Maguire, and turns out I just couldn't deal with the egos of NFL players that have never been told no their entire lives and that type of thing. So I did that and did a little business sales for a few years. And then, interestingly enough, I was down here on an Easter vacation with my family, and I was at a bar with my brother, and I started talking to these girls that were selling real estate, and I just looked at my brother on the drive home, and I'm like, why am I in the cold, dark, miserable Chicago winter selling business to business when I could be selling real estate in sunny Naples, Florida? So I actually moved down here and got the license, and I actually started on site. I worked for a builder developer on site selling new construction up in Estero and gated golf, and then the last 11, 12 years I've been working in general real estate, and I sell from Marco Island all the way up to like Fort Myers. So
okay, yeah. Is there an area that you mostly sell in, community? or a price point, those kind of things?
Yeah, so I partner with a girl named Shannon Lefevre. She's got a real prevalent website, Shannon.com, and we do a lot in Pelican Bay. We do a lot in Pelican Marsh. It's mostly Naples, but I also have sold and listed properties on Marco. I've sold and listed properties in Estero. She focuses on 12 communities, and I'm kind of the utility guy for everything else. So I joke that I know a little bit about each community to be dangerous, but I'm not like an expert on, South Naples, East Naples, or Estero versus maybe, say, Pelican Bay and some other places. I've done a lot of deals in a lot of different places.
Okay. Now, besides the SEO stuff, what sets you apart from those other agents, especially in this insane market?
I think, interestingly enough, it's one of the reasons why I partnered with Blake, and that's your actual ability to pick up your phone and when things are needed to get done and actually knock something out. It's accountability. Mm-hmm. So I joke that whoever I'm with, whether it's a girlfriend, family, whatever, I'll look at my phone about every 10 minutes, just a glance, just to make sure I didn't miss a call or a text. And some people think I'm neurotic or it's like a tick or something weird like this, but and just, it's accountability and making sure things get done. So for me, it's answering the phone. It's taking care of something. Here's an interesting thing. If I don't know the answer to something, I don't BS my way through it. I say, you know what? I'm not sure. Let me find out. I will call you back by 5 o'clock or 8 or 9 a.m. the next morning. And then I actually call that person back with the information that they're requesting. Because there's 18,000 of us down here. So you have to do every little thing you can to set yourself apart.
Right. Well, the communication is not that hard, but I feel most people have not understood basic communication. That's a college degree, and I think it should be more of a a requirement. Just no, in high school probably, not even in college. Let's just talk about that in high school. Come on, people. So, yeah, I think the famous one is people try to BS their way through, and it's like, no, everyone can smell it. Just why not saying I don't know? Most of the time you get more credit for that point.
Well, the other thing to consider is that this is a second or third home market largely. So the people that are purchasing real estate or own real estate have done something right in life where they can afford a second or third home. They're probably going to catch you in the middle of your BS or that. So there's nothing wrong with saying, I'm not sure, let me find out. But also just that work ethic. We're all from up north, and that's what's also different. Like, I need somebody dialed in to work at that Northeast or Midwest pace, which is very fast paced versus it was an eye opener moving down here with how some people that are, run their business and take care of things. And that's what our customers up north are accustomed to. So I kind of try to keep on that level as well.
Right. And you're totally right. They're on not
City
island
folk.
time, but they're like on Florida time. It's just like, okay, I'll get to it. It's like, no, let's go. Exactly. So what kind of hurdles are you experiencing right now? I know you had mentioned you did a lot of deals with the Midwest and the people coming down here. What hurdles are you encountering with the low inventory right now?
So obviously there's not a lot to sell, and I don't know, it doesn't matter if you're selling sneakers or if you're selling houses. You have 1,000 people a day moving to Florida, the whole state that is, and you have a lot of people that want into a place. We had a moratorium for a while with new construction from your publicly traded builders like your Toll Brothers, your Lennars, your Pulte's and that, and they actually created if they were going to sell 30 a month, they started selling 8 a month, and they were making 30 people bid on those 8 a month. So the people that wanted the new, transitional, shiny, the shiplapping, all the stuff that Blake's company puts in these homes to make a 30-year-old home look beautiful, they couldn't necessarily get that if they can't buy the new construction. So one of the things we're doing is trying to paint the picture of this 30-year-old house. Well, let me hire somebody like Blake that can actually do those things that you're seeing in the brand new house that you have to overbid for right now, or that won't be built for a year or two, or they can't get materials and windows and things like that. And it's just being creative with that and having that vision and that understanding. So that's been a big part of the challenge is that. And then, just the normal, kind of minutia of contracts and when you're competing on offers and how to, be competitive in that arena. But I'm sure every realtor on the show has ever talked about that, so I won't bore you guys with that.
Yeah. Now, where do you think most people are moving from, and why do you think they're coming to Florida?
I can tell you that traditionally, so this is my 19th year in real estate. Traditionally, it was Midwest. The joke was that I-75 runs from here all the way up to northern Michigan, and I-95 runs from Miami to Maine. Well, I've had more people from Boston, Philly, and New York buy here in the last 8 or 10 years than I have the Midwest. So it's a good mix. And it's literally Minneapolis, Chicago, Cleveland, Detroit, Buffalo, Philly, Boston, New York, all the suburbs of New York, Connecticut, New Jersey. And there's a myriad of reasons. I mean, there were some tax implications in Illinois a few years ago with the death tax and what that meant for people. So even before COVID, they were coming from Illinois in those parts. Then we get, some issues going on with taxation in some of the states in the Northeast. And Florida is very, very encourages domiciling here. There's some terrific savings for homesteading here.
Yeah.
And we don't have income tax.
Right.
And the other thing that's interesting as a side note is with COVID occurring, I have a friend who's works at a hair salon, and she owns a hair salon, and she's looking for space right now to build out her boutique. And every time something came available down here, there's a bidding war going on for leases, for office and for retail, because people are relocating from up north. So the commercial realtors are doing really, really well down here for these spaces, because people can come in and set up a skeleton crew and work remotely and set up their shop if it's like a white collar business, or if it's retail or office, same kind of thing. So Florida's been open for business and is booming. And as a result, it's just crazy. The other thing is the New York Times, USA Today, a lot of these publications have put out Florida, Naples, top 5 place to retire. Condé Nast ranked our restaurants a few years ago in the top 20 in the whole United States. And people that had never heard of Naples before, that traditionally went to West Palm or Boca or Delray or Fort Lauderdale or Tampa or Orlando, were like, wait, let me check out Collier County. Let me check out Southwest Florida. And so the word is out. And we know this when we're driving in June, July, August on the roads, and there's just as many cars on the roads here in the summer as there is in season. So the secret's out, and I'm happy to be a part of it. So
I know. I was like, are these people going to go? Nope, they didn't leave. Same people, they're still here, and they're still hogging the roadways,
which is great.
Hey,
Phenomenal.
It's a good problem to have,
more
right?
People, more work, more industry. It's good.
I've never understood the realtors that complain about the car carriers. I'm like, that is your livelihood.
Right.
I hope there's car carriers bringing cars here. That's how we all eat and pay our bills,
Yeah. And it's funny too, because the people that are coming down, most of them are successful. You had talked about that already. And so they're coming down, and they're probably at that point, if they've not retired, pretty close. So all they're doing is they're coming down and supporting our economy, right? They're not, some of them are bringing businesses, and that's great, and all hail to them. But a lot of them are coming down, and they're retiring, and they're chilling, and they're eating the restaurant, and they're flipping the houses, and they're doing this other stuff, which is great for everyone, right?
It's
and
wonderful.
So
Yeah.
it's perfect. It's perfect. So now let's dive into your guys' relationship. Now, how did you guys meet, and how did you guys get to know each other?
Oh, bar fight, 1978.
Great year.
Yeah, it's good.
I had a
Good.
great
It's before I was
uppercut when I
born.
was 3. It was great.
It was before I was born, but that's where we met.
You and me both.
Yeah, we actually both are. We both participate in local charities, and that's how we met. And being that I was in handyman and he was in real estate, the opportunity came for us to help Chad, and it's just one of those things when people get along and there's a good synergy between like-minded people. It makes it easy to work with them. And that's kind of how it started.
Plus, he's from Illinois and I'm from Ohio, so it's easy to kind of that Midwest kind of BS.
Big Ten.
Yeah, he's in the line. I'm a Buckeye. So
Oh, gotcha. Now, what impressed you about Blake and his business?
So one of the things that's interesting, and I'm sure any real estate agent can attest to this, is that, think about it this way. These people are coming from up north. A lot of them are snowbirds. They're only here 8 months out of the year, 6 months out of the year. They don't know a contractor from Adam. They don't know a vendor from Adam. They have trust in you that the person that you're going to refer and rely on is going to be, do what they say they're going to do, take care of business, and do that thing. I've had so many electricians and plumbers and painters and handyman and general contractors throughout the years that some of them became insolvent and left. Some of them showed up. Some of them didn't. Some of them quoted crazy prices out of nowhere. And so when you meet a guy like Blake and you're talking to a guy like Blake and you just know because the guy's looking you in the eyes, he's has a firm handshake, he's talking about his business. And here's the other thing. Other people are also saying great things about Blake. And oh my gosh, yeah, I use Becker Home Maintenance for this and that and whatever. So we got into an opportunity where, you know, I kind of did like a trial run.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so here's a handyman list. So we have when we get a contract done, I'm representing a buyer and we do the inspection. There's a bunch of fixes that have to be attended to. And we have a limited time to get this done. Now, Blake's got other business to attend to. He's got other customers. He's got other jobs. So I tell Blake, look, I want to start working with you. I need your help. But if this goes sideways, no offense, I got to move on to another outfit. And the first time that I hired Blake was, 3 or 4 years ago. And I'll tell you what, he just absolutely knocked the ball out of the park. And it started with the phone call. It started with, Angie at his company, or I don't know if she was there at the time.
She wasn't there at that time, yeah.
Somebody at the company who answered, relays it to Blake, get people out, take care of things, have great photos, receipts, everything's done. So when I go and do the walkthrough, that buyer is completely happy because they're back up north. Mm-hmm. And I'm the eyes and ears. And so I'm touting how great Becker Home Maintenance is. Mm-hmm. But if they fall short, that falls on me.
100%.
Right? So, and it started with that. And then since then, it's just reliability. I mean, I know I can get a hold of them. And again, down here, because of the expectations of people from the Northeast and the Midwest, it's about expectation. So if I say that they're going to be there on a Tuesday at 2, they're going to be there on a Tuesday at 2. If they can't and they have to reschedule for some reason, we're going to know ahead of time there's not going to be a catastrophe. And just solving problems, taking care of things, maybe not having all the parts of the job. Maybe I did a poor job of describing what needed to be fixed, and they show up to the job site and they have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and figure out and get, supplies and parts and things like that. But just it's one headache off my plate. It's building a team of vendors as a real estate agent that you can trust implicitly, that I can absolutely say unequivocally that I trust this guy with anything. I trust him in my own house with my door unlocked, or anybody that works for him. And when you can say that to a customer, they're like, okay, and they feel at ease, because nobody wants to thumb through Google. They don't know who these people are. So it's kind of building that. And then the cool thing is, since almost everything's gated here and all the neighbors talk, he does a great job for the Smiths. They're going to tell the Joneses and the Martins and all the other people that live down the street, and it helps build his business organically just from referral, just because of the great work that he did.
Mm-hmm. What about some things that have gone wrong, right? And how'd you guys handle that?
There's always things that go wrong.
Oh, of course. Every business.
That's part of every business. It's part of being a handyman. It's part of being in construction. It's something I didn't understand when I got into this company, because when I was doing mostly things myself, I had a low failure rate. But as I grew, and you have 14 people on the road, you have a lot more opportunity for failures. So what I have learned and working with realtors is the same communication. And we talked about it a little bit earlier, is just owning up responsibility. Instead of ducking it, it's saying, hey, you know what? I messed up. I put the wrong TV mount in, or I put the wrong color paint on the door. Whatever it is, I made a mistake, and then we send the team out to go fix it. I mean, we had a job recently where, 5 or 6 things the client wasn't 100% happy with out of 25. You send the team back, you change it out, you fix it, you send the others, guy in to do this and that, and at the end of the day he invites us to a Christmas party. It's about follow through, because if there's a mistake, nobody wants to be ghosted. Plain and simple. If you do something wrong at my house, I'm expecting you to fix it. And if I can't get a hold of you, that's a wrap. I'm done. You know what I mean? So I think people like the opportunity, like it actually when we make a little mistake, and then we're given the opportunity to go back and make it right. And it's almost like we did a better job by making a mistake and then fixing it.
It's not if you're going to make a mistake, right?
no,
we all
happen.
It's all when, right? So we all make mistakes, part of life.
How about you, Chad? Any mistakes on your end?
Every day.
Yeah.
None, right?
Yeah, I'm never.
Perfect.
But that's the other thing too. Like, we're in this day and age, every company, every service, whether it's Becker Home Maintenance or it's John Arwood, Chad Phipps, real estate, there's surveys, there's reviews, there's things that are left that are indelible, that are online. So it's in your best interest, to do the best job. And when you can say, you know what, yeah, I fell short, let me take care of it, I'll be right out, or let me do this and that, and you correct. It's about, solutions to problems and handling things in a timely fashion. And people understand that. And if you communicate effectively, everybody's cool and they're on board.
Yeah. You obviously created a big business. You've been a top realtor. What are some advice and tricks and tips that you'd give to someone that is an upcomer in your shoes?
Oh man, let's see here. I think details. You know, for me, I am that fast-moving guy. I'm from a couple hours south of Chicago, so that up north mentality, that go 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 go, is instilled in me, and I'm probably the biggest one in my company that goes a million miles an hour and sometimes loses track of the details. You know, and I've been able to hire people who are phenomenal with details, so that's actually been a big benefit to our company. But I know for me, when I was new and it was by myself and I was doing the installs and doing the sales and I was doing the emails and I was doing the bookkeeping, I was doing all of it myself. If I had paid a little bit more attention to the details, I could have probably prevented some of the things that I had to go through. But at the same time, it wouldn't have put me in the seat that I'm in now. I had to go through all those little details to kind of, fail, learn, and then try again. So never giving up, being persistent, and then I don't know, man, they're just work ethic, drive. Like I wake up in the morning, every morning, 4:30, and I don't get home till 6. And then I spend a couple hours with my family, and then I work until midnight. I mean, that's my drive. Is you have to want to be successful.
So it doesn't happen overnight.
No, it's not an overnight success. That's for sure.
Never it is. What are you?
Oh man, I think one of the biggest things is a mentorship. I actually worked for a top producing real estate agent my first year, and Pat Dearborn in the first year, and I learned a lot from him. That was in general real estate because I had to teach myself a lot of on-site sales for real estate, the 6 years prior to that. In general real estate's a whole different game. You're not sitting on a site in a model just selling these 8 things. You're selling everything that's possibly available in Southwest Florida, or you can refer business to any part of the state. So for me, it's like finding a mentor and picking that person's brain. And this could be, this would work in any vertical, any industry, any business that you want to get into if you're young. And there's nothing wrong with asking questions. And I think somebody that, can impart a lot of wisdom in taking those things in and then just taking best practices like you would anything. But I think too many people let ego get in the way. I think too many people let pride get in the way. I think too many people think that they're know-it-alls and that type of thing. And humility goes a long way, like being able to say, I'm not sure, let me find out, and I'll get back to you on that. Or finding an asset that you can call to get an answer to something, I have no problem calling an attorney, a broker, or something with a question, even now, my 19th year in real estate, because I don't want to say the wrong thing, and I want to make sure that I'm conveying proper and timely information that pertains to the transaction. And then just surrounding yourself with good people, which is, kind of why we're here, right? And and having a team of people you trust. I have an attorney that I implicitly trust that I can actually text or call that's not going to send me a bill for every 15-minute phone call or something like that I can get great real estate legal advice. I have a title company that I trust. I have a maintenance company that I trust. I have an electrician that I trust. I have a plumber that I trust. I have all of these things, and it's look, they haven't all been the same people over 19 years, but it evolves. And so you find this and you build this trust, and we kind of scratch each other's backs and help each other out. It's kind of symbiotic, and then it evolves from there. You know what I mean?
Well, we are running out of time, but we have our last final segment of the podcast, and it's our speed round. So, all right, guys, neither one of these individuals know the questions we're about to ask, and they're quick, to the point, would you rather questions. First one, would you rather travel the world for a year on a shoestring budget or stay in only one country for a year but live in luxury?
Live in luxury. This is my answer.
Is this pre-COVID?
Sure. Or post-COVID.
Or post-COVID? I'd travel the world on a shoestring budget.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather suddenly be elected a senator or suddenly become a CEO of a major company, and you don't have any knowledge about either job or anything, just what you have knowledge right now?
Oh, man. CEO for sure. I'm trying to mess with politics.
I'm the complete opposite. I'd be the senator easily.
Touche. I don't know. These are tough ones. These are good ones. Would you rather live in a virtual reality? This is perfect for Meta, right? For the whole Facebook. Would you rather live in a virtual reality where you have all powerful, or you are all powerful, or live in a real world where you and able to go anywhere and but not be able to interact with anyone or anything?
Oh, that sounds horrible. I'm a people person, so I guess I'd have to take the virtual reality based on being by myself.
Yeah, but virtual is just so virtual.
I've never really been in virtual reality, so I guess I'd have to try it first.
What are you, Chad?
I'd go Unabomber on this one, live in the woods type of manifesto, and just eat parsnips by myself.
Yeah, just
That's
a full minimalist.
Oh yeah,
just
completely. Grow that beard out. Look like I'm a bartender in a hipster bar.
You'll fit right into Portland area, Washington. That'd be perfect. Would you rather live until you're 200 and look like you're 200 the whole time, even though you're healthy, or look like you're 25 all the way until you die at age 65?
Oh, old age for sure. Grow it out.
I think old age too, just because you get to experience so much stuff.
Yeah, and if you're healthy, then when they said the healthy part in there, I was like, all right, I could do that, because if I don't care what I look like. I want to go and experience it, right? Would you rather be born again in the same country or a different one of your choosing?
Man, USA all the way, bro.
It's a loaded question, and I understand your response, but I also could see.
I mean, if I had the opportunity, I'd be born again in another country if it's of my choosing.
It is of your choosing. Yeah. Which one would it be?
It'd be, oh man, there's so many places. I think, oh boy, that is a tough question. I don't know. I guess it'd have to be somewhere that has, there's tons of political unrest right now in Chile. So I wouldn't want to go today, but like, let's say that wasn't occurring. You have like Patagonia there, and you have all these different climates in the Andes and just, and Santiago and all these places. So I could see myself living there, like Buenos Aires or somewhere in Argentina or somewhere in South America.
That'd be pretty cool. Would you rather have a successful podcast or a successful YouTube channel?
YouTube.
Well, YouTube, because you could do both.
There we go. Real producers on both.
Look at Joe Rogan, man.
That's right.
The RP experience. All right. Would you rather live in a cave or live in a treehouse?
Treehouse.
Yeah, no question, treehouse.
See, I had a treehouse growing up and I loved it, but yeah, caves. Hey, you close off the one end. There's no. You know my prior experience and whatnot. I'm always the guy that sits in the back of the restaurant, looking out towards the doors, like those kind of things. So a cave, at least I'm there and. There's only one entrance. But anyways, we are out of time. We all appreciate you guys being on this podcast. As always, Southwest Florida Real Producers extremely thrilled to have you all on here. And we're pumped to bring Real Producers on air. So stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks, gentlemen, for joining us. And thanks, VentureX, for allowing us to be here in the podcast room.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
See you guys next time.